everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF race of the day for Sunday, July the 7th. It's race number 9 at Delaware Park. Let's take a look at the field for the signature race of the entire Delaware racing season, the Grade 2 $500,000 Delaware Handicap for fillies and mares going 1 3/16 miles. Last year, Idiomatic won this race on her way to a championship season that culminated with a victory in the Breeders' Cup Distaff. And while there are no Idiomatics in this year's edition of the Delaware Handicap, it's a pretty good field and a pretty good betting race. Brad Cox trains Idiomatic, and he also has the 6 Wet Paint, a horse that certainly has some credentials. She won the Coaching Club American Oaks last summer at Saratoga, and coming into this race off a couple of disappointing performances, but maybe in her third start of the year, she could put things together. We know that she likes to rally from off the pace, so I'm curious to see what our friends at Timeform US have in store for us for its pace projector. And the one Malibu Beauty is likely going to try to take advantage of the inside post. She does have good early speed. She was a gate-to-wire winner at Delaware going 1 mile 2 starts back, and I think she's going to be up close to the pace. If Honor D Lady breaks, and she didn't break last time out, she probably could find a good forward position under Jose Ortiz, who goes into the weekend at Delaware Park with a lifetime record of 10 wins from 18 mounts there. Saddle Up Jessie also has the ability to be close, and even Warning Matcha, stretching out in distance, can be a part of this pace picture. I think the pace will be fair. Let's start things off with Malibu Beauty, coming off this runner-up effort in an allowance race at Laurel Park. They cut her all the way back to 6 furlongs in this heat, and she faced a pretty good sprinter, an odds-on winner in Miss Bucaro. I just have a feeling that 6 furlongs is too short for her. Now, maybe 1 3/16 miles is too far, but I do think she's better going longer than 6 furlongs, and she really does well at Delaware Park. Gary Capuano is a high percentage trainer, and Malibu Beauty might be able to steal away to the lead and at least set reasonable fractions. She's somewhat underrated. This is the toughest test she's had to face in a long time, but she should be a solid price on the tote. Honor D Lady is the number 2. We're going to watch her finish in the Ladies' Secret last time out, but I would urge everyone to check out your free formulator past performances, click on the short comment link, and watch the entire race, because Honor D Lady took a pretty bad stumble at the start of that race and then rushed up along the inside on the backstretch to get into contention. It looked like she was going to tire pretty badly, but as you saw, she rallied up the rail and denied Saddle Up Jessie the runner-up spot. Honor D Lady was the winner of the Royal Delta 3 starts back at 1 1/16 miles. She might have found the Quality Adair Manor a bit too tough for her in the Apple Blossom 2 starts back. Her buyer speed figures are strong. She has tactical speed when she breaks, and she looks like a very solid contender. Saddle Up Jessie is the number 3 going out for Brittany Russell. She is 2 for 2 lifetime at Delaware Park, and maybe the Ladies' Secret was a little bit disappointing. She bobbled just a little bit leaving the gate, but certainly didn't break as poorly as Honor D Lady. Got up close to that moderate pace, briefly put a head in front turning into the stretch, and then just couldn't fend off the favored 3-year-old winner and Honor D Lady. I wonder if Saddle Up Jessie, a horse who has good tactical speed, is a little bit better when there are 1 or 2 horses in front of her. She does have a nice burst of speed. I think if she utilizes that speed, she can be in contention when the field turns into the stretch. Queen of Missoula is up next, and she ran 3rd last time out in the Allaire DuPont. That was a very strong race. The winner of that race, Shotgun Hottie's one of the better filly and mare dirt horses in the entire country. She bounced back from that race to finish a tough trip 2nd in the Grade 2 Fleur de Lis at Churchill Downs with an 87 buyer speed figure. Queen of Missoula's buyer speed figures seem to be going the right way, and she's such a lightly raced 4-year-old that I think we can project a little bit of improvement. Now, Queen of Missoula would appreciate a little bit of pace help up front, but this distance is just what the doctor ordered for her. If this turns into a staying contest, maybe Queen of Missoula is one to grind them down at a fair number. The 5 is Warning Matcha, who's closing in on millionaire status for trainer Butch Reed, and she's done well at a variety of distances throughout her career. She was a little bit disappointing last time out in the Better Roses in New York, a graded stakes race going 7/8 of a mile. And Butch had told me before that race that maybe he had hoped Morning Matcha had found herself sort of as a 7/8 1-mile horse. Now he's going to try to stretch her out for 1 mile and 3/16, and she has done very well around 2 turns in the past, especially earning a Grade 1 placing in the Cotillion a couple of years ago. She ran okay in this race last year to be 3rd to Idiomatic. It's not as tough of a field, and she's just an honest campaigner. Wet Paint is the 6. I told you about her win in the Coaching Club American Oaks last year, a Grade 1. She's coming off of a 3rd place effort in the Shawnee Stakes last time out. It was a race that wasn't run at a very fast pace. She was sort of forced to be closer to the pace than she usually is, and she couldn't sprint on home with Scylla, who's in raging form right now. She would come back to beat Shotgun Holly in last week's Fleur-de-Lis with that 87 Beyer speed figure. It was a step in the right direction for Wet Paint, who might be racing herself back into shape in her 3rd start of the form cycle. And I think you can make the argument that she has one of the strongest late kicks, if not the strongest late kick in the race. Intrepid Dream is up next. This is a really big, strong filly. Get a look at her. When she walks into the paddock, she weighs over 1,350 pounds. She looked good winning the Heavenly Cause, going a 1-turn mile, 2 starts back. She had to work a little bit in upper stretch before finally asserting herself at odds on. And last time out in the Allaire DuPont, she was hung outside. She was in between horses. I'm not sure that's the most comfortable position for Intrepid Dream. I expect her to be aggressively ridden by Jamie Rodriguez leaving the gate, and I think there's a chance she could be sitting 2nd or 3rd when the field hits the back stretch. She has to prove herself against strong graded competition. Abundancia comes off of a good Beyer performance. She earned an 89 in this race down at Gulfstream Park going a 1-turn mile, and the winner, Beth's Dream, is in raging form. She would bounce out of this race to win a similar $75,000 handicap with a 95 Beyer speed figure. Abundancia has run pretty well at long distances in her native Peru. I'm not too worried about the distance for her, and she does seem to have some tactical speed. She will be making her first start since April. I think from this outside post she can break, find good position, and try to sweep around them. There are worse, longer-priced horses in the world that I've seen than Abundancia, who comes into this race in good form. Before we take a look at my top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for the latest DRF videos. I'm going to take a little bit of a chance with the 3, Saddle Up Jessie, who's 2 for 2 lifetime at Delaware Park. While Honor Delady ran better than she did last time out at Monmouth, I think Saddle Up Jessie was sort of forced to be close to the pace in that short field. She is more of a tracker and a stalker. I think she lets some of the other speeds go. She'll sit in a good position in the 2nd flight, and maybe she makes a bursting outside move into the turn to try to take over the lead. I'll go with Saddle Up Jessie in the Del Cap on Sunday. Good luck.